Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news-making headlines today. In response to the ballot paper shortage during the June local elections, President Lee Jae-myung has called for a sweeping overhaul of the National Election Commission, including a constitutional amendment if necessary. Speaking at a weekly meeting with his aides on Friday, he ordered a thorough investigation into the incident and called for swift legislative changes to fundamentally reform the election watchdog. As the National Election Commission is an independent constitutional body, it is not subject to inspection of duties by the Board of Audit and Inspection. The first working-level talks between the United States and Iran have been cancelled following continued Israeli airstrikes in Lebanon. According to Reuters and Axios, overnight strikes leading to Friday morning against Hezbollah targets left at least 15 people dead. Israel defends the operations as a response to ceasefire violations. However, the violence directly conflicts with the newly signed U.S Iran Memorandum of Understanding, which mandates an immediate end to military operations on all fronts. As a result, Friday's nuclear and sanctions negotiations in Switzerland have been derailed. While the White House cited logistical delays for Vice President J.D. Vance, reports suggest Iran suspended its departure over the ongoing Israeli attacks. The unresolved tensions now threaten the 60-day window established for broader denuclearization talks. Also, as part of that Memorandum of Understanding, Tehran has opened applications for transit through the Strait of Hormuz. According to Iran's Supreme National Security Council, ships will be permitted to pass through this critical waterway, free of charge, for 60 days, as related fees have been waived. 24 South Korean vessels, stranded in the strait, are expected to submit applications. The South Korean government, for its part, will maintain real-time communication with the ships, which are also expected to abide by an Iran-proposed pathway through the waters, to avoid its earlier deployed sea mines. Korea's stock market value surpassed a historic milestone on Friday, with the KOSPI breaking 9,300. However, the upward momentum slowed in the afternoon as institutional investors locked in profits, dragging the KOSPI down 0.03% to close at 9,052.42. The combined stock market capitalization topped 8,000 trillion won, or $5.2 trillion, for the first time. Market heavyweight SK Hynix saw its market capitalization hit the 2,000 trillion won mark, or $1.3 trillion. Investor sentiment was boosted by overnight gains in U.S. chip stocks and news of technology partnerships in the global semiconductor sector. South Korea failed to co-host Mexico in its second group A match at the 2026 FIFA World Cup on Friday, missing an opportunity to secure an early berth in the knockout stage. To cheer on the national team, thousands of fans gathered at Gwanghwamun Square, hoping Korea would build on last week's victory against Czechia. However, after a scoreless first half, Mexico's Luis Romo scored 5 minutes into the second half, capitalizing on goalkeeper Kim Seung-gyu colliding with defender Lee Ki-hyuk. But Korea still has a chance to go through to the round of 32 thanks to a 1-1 draw between South Africa and Czechia earlier in the day. Korea stays second in Group A with 3 points, meaning a win or a draw in their final match will guarantee a spot. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.